Making something old new again? Find out what I do after the titles. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, Märklin Outsider, the Märklin Outsider here with, I will try to keep it short. I have been converting a lot of Herb's old analog 3-rail Märklin stock to digital. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I'm doing a very specific and simple is only in comparison to what you would have to do if you wanted to do more. Many of these older Märklin locomotives used what is called an Allstrom motor, and I don't really know all the ins and outs of this, but Märklin sells a very specific kit for these old analog Allstrom motors that specifically fits in with the relay on the motor. So you take the relay out, you put the decoder in, and now it's digital. It doesn't allow for sound or multiple functions. This is just if it had lights working, maybe smoke, but it's non-sound and it's non-detailed. It's just a basic decoder. I'm not going to show you exactly how I do it, but I thought maybe since I'm about to do 2 more, I'll show you basically how it works and maybe add pictures as well. So let's go to it. Okay, the 2 victims, patients I'm going to be operating on in this video are this one. This is from Herb. This is that class 363 little shunter. I liked it, and I guess I'll have a shunter on my layout. Use it now and then. And then been waiting for 1.5 years, but the shunting bus from Horst. I picked it up in Bamberg in June of 2023 from Horst. And so let me open them up and show you the motor we're talking about. Now to open them up, they both have just a single screw on top here. So I'll take that off and then show you inside. All right, so I've removed the caps. Now here's this little shunter, and as you can see, if you look inside and the space, not a lot of space, so you really couldn't put a sound module in this one easily. And then the shunting bus, maybe a little more space to try to fit a speaker in if you want to, but why? Now if you look at these, they really are basically the same motor, and I've been told this is called the Allstrom motor. And when I looked on Märklin's site, when I did this for the first time last year, that's what they referred to it. So it really is basically the same motor. Whoops. And what we're going to do is in both cases, we remove this, the relay. And now the difference is if you look at this one, you've got mostly black wires and 1 red wire. That's easy enough. And you can see this is missing a light bulb. So I'll see if I can find a spare. And they didn't bother with the different color lights here, but I'll just remove all this wiring. But you take this out. We're going to remove this. We're going to remove this, what I think is called the relay. We remove this, and the new decoder fits in that slot. And same here. The new decoder is designed to fit in the slot. Now this one is crazier because everything's yellow, and it's really hit and miss about, you gotta, sometimes you wire something and go, oh, I gotta switch those 2 wires around. So this one's gonna be a bit of a demon. I'll save that till later. But what we're gonna do is remove this relay and put the decoder in. And I'll show you the decoder in a second. So the decoder is Märklin number 60906. This is their basic decoder for working with the old Allstrom motors. And what you get in here is the decoder and the mounting plate. And this mounting plate, including the screw holes, fits exactly into the slots where the relay was. So that's it. And the vast majority of these wires you will not use. Now, this is all held into place by one screw. We're going to take that screw out, and that screw hole is where you then screw in the mounting plate for the decoder. So we're going to unscrew that, and then we're going to remove all of this, and we have to cut a bunch of wires or unsolder a bunch of wires. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, so the relay is now out, and I've put the decoder in. It's really a matter of attaching. There's a short wire here that gets attached to the red because that is the pickup coming from the shoe underneath, and this is from the pickup. This little black wire here connects to this, and then the red and blue wires, or I'm sorry, the green and blue wires, those are your directional powers for the motor. Those will attach. There's actually two lines here, and I will splice these together. Whoops. Focus. These are the two wires, and the key is you kind of got to guess. You know, you'll do a soft solder on these, test it to make sure you've got it going. You don't want it forward going backwards, backwards going forward. And then the brown and the yellow wires are to the light. And the purple wire is also superfluous. That would not be used in this situation. So I snipped a couple of extra wires here. One that would go to a smoker unit. Don't have it. One goes to powered couplings, current conducting couplings. Don't have those. I still got to go look for a light bulb to go here. But the yellow and the gray wires, those are your lights. And since this does have a light in front and back, it'll go one to each way. So I will start soldering everything together and then give it a test. And hopefully I will have guessed right with blue and green on this one first time. But it's a 50-50 shot. Okay, so on first try, it actually was not loading in, and I debated whether a couple of things here were conflicting because there was a slightly different arrangement here that wasn't according to the book. So what I did was I took the brown ground, which was supposed to be here, or at least it was here originally, and I moved it down here. And now, if I come over here, you can see it's installed. I didn't even have time to get the phone up. I turned this on and it immediately read the chip. So now what I have to do is go into edit locos, and you're going to get the shaky hand. And you can see it's, well, maybe you can't because that light's in the way. It gave it an address of 53. And I just have to change some information on it. So I'll change its name to the class it is. It's reading it as a steam or symbol as a steam loco, but I'll change that. When I click on those question marks there, that's just an image. And I will look to see if there is an image of it already. And then I'll also adjust the speedometer and everything else. And then you can see it has minimal functions because this is just a generic. So if your diesel or steam has a steam function and ability, you can add it in. This one obviously can't. So we'll test and see if some things are going, and I'll adjust it. But unfortunately, right where this is at, I've got that light overhead. All right, so what I've done now is I reversed the blue and green wires, and yep, it works correctly. I found a spare light bulb. I got to figure out a way
for its contact, but yeah, it's sitting in there loose. It's the same ball, but apparently, and the one on the other side works just fine. So everything is wired correctly, and it's working. I just got to figure out a way to get this bulb to stay in there. Oops, sorry about that. So I'll come back once I figure out something with the shell on.
Okay, so when I started this video and filmed the opening, I was going to do both, but I wound up spending a lot more time on this and not get the second one done. So I'm going to save the Sheen bus for a video. I'll try to get that done tomorrow. Very, very excited to have gotten that. This one, I did it all up and brought it over here. Pretty sure I'd done everything right. And lo and behold, it wasn't working. And I went through all my steps, and then I think I put the ground wire in the wrong place, even though that's where it had it coming off the original one. And so by moving it down to a separate area, I think that was the solution. I think that's what was the reason it didn't work. But when you set it down, it immediately loads in when you've done it correctly. So I set it down, and actually I didn't realize I had the it wasn't in stop, it was in running state. So before I could grab my camera, it had loaded in. But in the end, it's a win. It's another locomotive to go on the set. So I will try to edit this video and get it out quickly. But yeah, very, very happy with the outcome. I've now got that Class 363 loaded into my central station, ready to run, and maybe it'll make an appearance on Friday. We'll see. So until the next time, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, everybody, I'll be the Zane Chus, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.